Hey, what's up out there? Welcome to E.TV. In this episode, I like to discuss Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, in which the Celtics of Boston took on the Magic of Orlando. Now, in this game, you would expect the Magic to be a little rusty due to the fact that they had over a week off and they really haven't played a lot of playoff games in terms of most teams have not swept, and the Orlando Magic have only played 8 games in the 2010 NBA playoffs, sweeping the inexperienced first time in the playoffs Charlotte Bobcats and the experienced but they don't know how to put it all together in a winning format Atlanta Hawks, which led to a sweep of both teams. Now, in saying that, that's good in terms of that shows that they had that killer instinct, but they were taking a pit bull of a different caliber in terms of taking on the Boston Celtics. And let me tell you, the game really wasn't that pretty early on. You expected to see some turnovers, you expected to see some missed shots, but the Boston Celtics, they came out with the eye of the tiger. They weren't missing shots. Ray Allen's laying the ball up. I mean, Paul Pierce, the transition defense was a goodie. You could tell because they awoke a sleeping giant in Paul Pierce in terms of he really was shooting that well throughout the entire postseason, but he managed to get a good 20 points in this game. And I mean, they were just leaving him wide open as if they were just daring him to shoot the three. So, I mean, in game 2, definitely the transition defense as well as the defense overall has to tighten up. I mean, on the Orlando Magic side of the ball, the only guy that really came to play the entire game was VC, Vince Carter, because this is the first time as long as he's been in the NBA in his illustrious career that he's actually made it to a conference finals. So I guess he was focused and he was ready to play. Jameer Nelson, he had a little bit of rust, but as the game went on, and in the third as well as the fourth quarter, he began to assert himself, and his aggressiveness did lead to some point production. But Dwight Howard, where were you, man? I mean, did the Boston Celtics do a magic trick on you or something? I mean, obviously, the book is out on Dwight Howard, and that is as strong and as physical a player as he is, if you can actually get a little bit physical with him and get inside of his head, you can really neutralize him. I mean, this guy barely played against the Charlotte Bobcats due to foul trouble. And against the Atlanta Hawks, I mean, the guy missed 5 shots the entire series. And I mean, against the Boston Celtics, the guy went 2 for 13, had 13 points. I mean, he had a couple rebounds and some blocks, but he didn't have the impact that, an all-star center and a player of Dwight Howard's caliber should be having. I mean, he's sitting down low, wrestling with, Perkins and Rasheed Wallace as opposed to setting picks and trying to get dunks and be an offensive player. I mean, if the Orlando Magic plan to advance to the NBA Finals, Dwight Howard needs to be a factor. So, I mean, there you have it. Dwight Howard in Game 1 was ineffective. So, in Game 2, the story is that Dwight Howard needs to show up. The Boston Celtics, if they play the same way that they played in Game 1, if they go up 2-0, Orlando Magic might not be coming back to Orlando. But the story in Game 1, the pit bull in the Boston Celtics stole one, and the Orlando Magic need to get one. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Peace.